back, chat is on, and that's when we get to crack the brewski because the kids are no longer here.
After dark.
That's what, we just had to get through that intro. We're back on track. I'm drinking my Almanac beer from the weekend.
Lovely one. I didn't do a beer, but as close as I could get, a ginger lime mule Spindrift.
Oh, lovely.
I don't know if you've tried it, but it's like
haven't.
Basically a Moscow Mule minus the alcohol.
Okay. I'll keep my eyes out.
It's tasty. It's refreshing.
I like a spinny. All right, let's just kind of go down the list then of the games that have happened that caught our interest. I think we got to start just with the first game of the whole tournament, since we haven't really spoke on camera about it. Mexico and South Africa. Mm-hmm. Interesting game, right? Because one, I expected so much more from South Africa, and I expected so much less from Mexico. Now, can Mexico be going off of the hype of the first game in the Azteca?
Absolutely.
For sure, right? I totally believe that's the case too. I still worry when Mexico plays a quality team and what to expect from them. But however, just based on that first game, nice looking outcome, right? Yeah. I mean, get the red cards out of the way, figure that out later, but not a bad way to start the cup.
No, I think they made a good showing of themselves. Even in our Discord vote, everyone was saying South Africa wins this. Red cards definitely threw a wrench in some things, but beyond that, I'd say even South Africa just looked way off of it for whatever reason. So I'm interested to see how they come into this next round. I think they're better than that, honestly. So
yes, I agree. But again, 2 red cards, so they're not going to be playing next game. That's how it's working, right? If you get a red card, you're suspended at least 1.
I believe so. Yeah.
And then, we could just jump to Canada really quick. Mm-hmm. I expected a little more from them. I expected them to be the best team in CONCACAF. Now, my reorder of teams here is actually swapping quite a bit, especially with Panama going right now. Panama playing Ghana is looking pretty tough. It's this tournament is fascinating because I do believe teams play up to the stage. I think when there is a nationality battle on the line, you see players do these performances that we're not used to seeing at a club level when it's just day in, day out, right? You're kind of just punching in, then do what you got to do, then you punch out. When these games are fast paced and we're going to get 104 of them in the next 3.5 weeks. It's crunch time. Virgil van Dijk was saying he hasn't missed a game yet. So for the best defender in Europe saying he has watched every single game, it's an incredible feeling because there's no way he's saying that about the Premier League. There's no way.
Oh yeah.
And so it just puts us into perspective of what we're going to see out of these players. And I do think, Jimenez out of Mexico getting his first goal in the World Cup, that's huge. But then on the flip side of Canada, tying Bosnia, I think he should have done a little more there. I think he should have came out of the gate a little harder as a host nation, right?
Yeah, I think they'll feel a little bit conflicted. Like, obviously, great to not lose, but I think as a host nation, in playing in Canada too, I think that was your moment to really put on the show and if anything, get the win, but also get some goals for that goal differential, which could play a big part, especially now that group is everyone drew, right? So it's it's all 1 point across the board at this time.
Yeah, I feel like they'll kick themselves a little bit there, considering who was drawing at that time. I mean, the draws have also been incredible. It does make me think, though, that a lot of these teams, I'll say the higher end, top end teams who think they're going to get out of group, kind of took it, I don't want to say easy. Easy is too strong of a word, but have paced themselves into not going all out in this first game. And you could say, obviously Germany is an exception. I would think if you're USA, you want to come out with a statement game, which is what they did. And if we just do flashbacks here, if USA would have lost on Friday, I think our weekend would have been a little different. Still, obviously very fun, but what a way to set the tone. The 4-1 victory, I think, was not in everyone's minds. It wasn't in mine. I was crossing my fingers saying, please, let's show up. Yeah. And And we did. So that made me super proud, and it just rolled us into a high quality weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you could talk to almost any USA fan, and I think everyone kind of had the same feeling going into it, just because so much of our lead up games were just pretty flat. I guess like they didn't feel, certainly not the energy we showed, against Paraguay, but even just like it was hard to kind of see what the team identity was going for.
Yep.
I know like a lot of that was, not a starting 11 necessarily, trying to find the right players, but yeah, I don't think anyone expected them to come out with such like pace and desire to start on like such a strong foot. But I think it's a great move. I mean, I think every team really was probably looking to do that. I think you can pace yourself, but I think so much of the success in these cup competitions, especially once it gets to knockouts, is sorry, I'm watching the Ghana.
I got it too. I saw Semenyo just do something down there, and I'm I spying it right now too.
Yeah.
So we can let it distract us.
Yeah, basically just like momentum, I think, can carry you so far in these tournaments, whether you're the better team or not. It can be as easy as like things are just falling your way, and you have that momentum and that little bit of luck that you're riding. So you know, not to say that Spain won't find their way through and go deep
Sure.
into the knockouts and stuff, but I think probably a lot of these teams, that big teams at least, that drew this first match, maybe a little bit of a wake up call, or at least a little bit of a slap in the face of like, okay, World Cup is here, tournament has started, let's figure out what we're doing now.
I mean, let's look at the draws that have happened already, right? Canada, Bosnia, Qatar, Switzerland, Brazil, Morocco, Netherlands, Japan, which is like, that's the big circle, right? You're looking at that game like crazy. Spain, Capo Verde, you're going, what in the hell happened there? Belgium, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Uruguay, Iran, New Zealand, Portugal, Congo. And I think that last one that I said has maybe the, I give a big circle for Japan, Netherlands, and that's because we could see that matchup in knockouts. But
Yeah.
if we want to just go to recency bias here in the Portugal game, oh man, yikes, right? That is a brutal draw for Portugal. That was my winner, and I do think they have the capability to do it, but they got to find a way to be cohesive. That is a player. It reminds me of PSG in the old days when it was like, as a whole on paper, fantastic looking, but like when you four midfielders need the ball 100% of the time, it's never going to work.
Yeah, there's certainly some balancing issue to figure out there. Like, I mean, you said it in the chat, the commentators are saying it, Bruno Fernandes needs the ball, and he just wasn't getting it.
Let's look at the touches. I'm genuinely curious. I feel like he's probably low, maybe middle tier on the touches.
Certainly not nearly as much as you want him. You just look at his time with United and the games where he's on the ball a lot, generally brings success for United. So I don't know why they're not just trying to kind of mirror that here.
So to relay this, most touches for Portugal today: Vitinha, Araujo, Viega, Cancelo, Neves, and then Fernandes with 96. Highest Vitinha with 134. So right there, it shows us what Portugal want to do. They want to run through Vitinha. But then at that point, what do you want Fernandes doing? Because his strong suit is being the creative one, which, again, so is Vitinha. You got a lot of the same guys. And we didn't even see much of Bernardo Silva. So it's going to be interesting to see how they rotate those guys. And personally, I don't know if all three of them need to be on the pitch at once.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I know, I think, Roberto Martinez is probably playing on that, Vitinha and Neves had that partnership that they have utilized so well at PSG. But I think that's just, that PSG team is just built to play differently than this, right? So I think you can drop one of them, allow Bruno to be your main creator, and what you got Ruben Neves, who could probably step in and just be a little bit more defensive minded. Still, a great player on the ball to have, but I think right now, yeah, it feels like they're all kind of stepping on each other's toes, and that's like without getting into the Ronaldo side of it. Like it's a lot of players that want to carry the ball, but unfortunately, like you guys can't all carry it, and this is kind of the result. Like it wasn't just a shocking draw for them, but even looking at the stats, they had 75% of the ball, but really did nothing with it. Like one shot on target. I mean, Congo only had 2 shots on target, but it's just a display that again, I think should be a wake up call or a little bit of a shake of like, okay, well, we got to figure something out because this wasn't it. And we'll see. I mean, I think you're right. They have the talent to go all the way. It's just if they can put all the right pieces together.
Yeah, we saw Silva play for a half, 23 touches. I just went back and looked at his Arsenal and City game, how many touches he had, 76. So, that's his strong suit there too, which personally I like when Silva drops back and catches the ball and sees what's available. Portugal was just a big letdown. The Ronaldo effect is still there. I was hoping this would be the tournament that Ronaldo doesn't start and they use him as a type of super sub. We see him play limited minutes. And I just don't think they have the guts to do it, which is it's so bad. I get it. It's Ronaldo. And if Ronaldo was doing Ronaldo things, you keep him out there, but he hasn't done it he didn't do it the last World Cup. He didn't do it in Euros. And here we are today, pretty much saying the exact same thing we said almost 4 years ago, is they need a striker to play through, not to play two. I'm going to coin that for myself, right? And with little Thierry Henry in the background there is, it's not up to you to score. It's up to your team to score, right? Yeah. And, we look at Messi last night, putting up a hat trick, doing Messi things again. It's never forced. It never feels like Messi is dying for that ball. He just is in the perfect place, 3 steps ahead, and can figure it out. Ronaldo today, God, that was today, right? Today. It's crazy. This feels like it was 2 days ago, but it was this morning. It feels like he was standing in the box for a majority of their attack, kind of just holding his arm up, waiting for the absolute perfect ball to come to him instead of him trying to figure out what I should do differently. And, he had an opportunity at goal when Bruno Fernandes had a better one and he kind of stole it from him. And I'm not saying it's an early exit for Portugal. I think they'll figure out something to get out of group, but if they don't, this is the reason why. 100% the reason.
Yeah. And I think, I think Ronaldo certainly has a place in this team. I do think it should be more as that super sub kind of thing. But even when he's on the pitch, I think he just has to be that gravitational pull right now. Like
he's not at all. It's not even close.
Yeah, like he's not making the runs or occupying the space that he really needs to. Where I mean, just looking at that clip that Henri was talking about, like he makes that run. At least one of those defenders, probably both, follow him a little bit, leaving that space for Bruno. And I think there's probably a handful more moments where he could be doing things like that to help the team. But, that's not the kind of player or striker he really is. He wants to get on the ball. He doesn't necessarily want to just, run around endlessly, even though that could be creating the space needed for the team to get the goal.
It wouldn't shock me if they somehow find a way and move him to the wing, or maybe on the left wing a little bit, to allow him to gather the ball there and try to take on these 1v1s. I know he doesn't have the pace, the blow-by speed that he used to have, but it's better than him standing in the box. He had 25 touches today, 5 touches in the opposition box. No dispossessions, so you got that going for you. But it's, if you look at his heat map, it's sporadic, but it's definitely high. It's definitely higher on the left side, kind of deeper by half. So if that's a move you can make and maybe allow, Ramos to be your true number 9, I think you try it that way. I mean, who did Portugal have on the left wing today? They had
Neto.
Neto, okay.
But even for Chelsea, we've seen him play either wing, right?
Sure,
so
exactly.
You could still work it with Ronaldo. Yeah, kind of occupies that left wing space. Then you have Ramos as your out and out striker, I guess, and then Neto on the right, and then I think that solves some of that attacking final third area. Still the midfield has some pieces that need to move, I think, but
they're so stacked. They're stacked in the midfielder in the position, and it's not like depth, right? It's not like England where they can throw out another starting 11, and you're like, wow, another balanced team. Someone's going to have to go against. It's not balanced. You have 3 of the same players essentially. Of course, they have different, minute skill differences, but the idea is mostly the same. So I would love to see if they came out next time. Neto on the right wing. Sorry, Silva. I think you have to get drops here, but that doesn't mean you're not going to play. You got subbed at halftime anyway. I think you keep Bruno kind of in that false 9-ish position, and maybe Ramos is playing more center forward instead of striker. But I don't think Ronaldo can play just like hogging up the box for a majority of the game. It looked ugly. It made no sense. He was a net negative, and it's just Portugal doing the same Portugal things over and over again when this team realistically could win this tournament with the starting 11 they have. That's what's bugging me the most. And at this rate, I wish I could redo my whole bracket, because I would drop them after today. And it's crazy because we look at the Spain draw. It's like, all right, they didn't start Yamal because they thought they were going to probably destroy them. They didn't start Nico Williams. And of course, they were like, getting an injury, rested, whatever. But there were reasons why I think Spain could have gone back in that game and said, if we would have done things a little bit different, if we would have took this game a little more seriously, we probably would have came out with a victory. And I do believe that's true. Portugal here can do the exact same tweaks, and I still think they can come out with a victory. But if this is how they're going to go the whole tournament, which is what they did in Euros, what they did in the last World Cup, nothing will change. So that sucks. That sucks for them. It sucks for the guys of their prime. But this is a Martinez problem.
Exactly. He needs to be able to just have the backbone to stand up to Ronaldo. Basically, like I get the name, the markability, the backlash he'll probably get from a lot of fans, Portuguese or not, of not playing him. But I think the team will be better without him, or at least try him on that left wing. And again, if it doesn't work, you can sub him out. I get you want him in there because he's Ronaldo and he can give you that moment. But I think we've seen time and again, he doesn't really have that in him with the national team.
Right.
So
remember they won Euros with him essentially on the bench during extra time. So it's like, I know that was almost 10 years ago or so, but it's crazy.
Just frustrating team.
But
we'll see. They got some time to figure it out. Like, obviously, draw's not the worst thing in the world, but you basically have to figure it out next game.
Yeah, it's kind of do or die for them. You need the victory at this point. Let's just go a little down under here to Australia. Watch that game, a little 2-0 against Turkey. Surprise, surprise! They just made our group very, very interesting.
Yes,
I think at the beginning of the tournament we were possibly thinking that Paraguay and Turkey could win the group, be the leaders of the group, and that has totally turned on its side. Where I'm saying I don't know if Turkey is going to make it out of this group. It's I know it's early; they got to prove some stuff, but that was an uglier game from Turkey. A lot of shots. Let me see if I can bring up that number.
30 shots, 8 on target for them. But I think so much of their issue was just they didn't know how to break down Australia, and wanted to keep crossing it in. They don't really have the height up front to play that, especially what Sutar 6'6" or something. And let's see, get this final, 13 clearances from him. It clearly wasn't going to be a cross in and win kind of game. I think they just needed to play much quicker on the ground, and I think those times that they did is when they found their way through. Shout out Patrick Beach, goalkeeper for Australia. He had a great game, 8 saves. He was stopping everything, and I mean, certainly, I think caught us by surprise. I know, but I think probably a lot of people, just how fierce they were on the counter, and Turkey had no real response, or no, didn't know what to do with it.
That'll be the scariest thing going in for the U.S. this Friday, is how do we handle a team that will allow us to possess, which is different from, we went against Germany in a friendly a couple weeks ago and saw how Germany was going to possess and kind of play through our defense. If we got Tim Ream on the halfway line and we're dominating possession and we lose it and we see those Australian guys go, I'll be holding my breath. And I feel like I'll be holding my breath a lot, because it happened in that match where I would argue that I think Australia is kicking themselves for not probably scoring more against this defense that was, kind of shell-shocked by what was running straight at them. So I thought that was, out of the whole tournament so far, that's probably one of the biggest surprises on a upset level, is just how they did it and how bad I think Turkey was at trying to adjust to it. They never really adjusted. Yeah. They didn't try to change much. They still dominated possession. They didn't try to open the game up, maybe draw Australia to them. I.e., let's look at what City did against Arsenal in the cup final, where they essentially just said, you hang on to possession. We're just going to stand here and wait for you to do something. Yeah. I don't know if I don't think that's the worst move if the United States wants to do something like that, because if we get caught on the break, these guys can go. They can go pretty fast.
I think it will have to be not be afraid to let them have the ball. And then when the United States does push up and attack, you just have to be cautious and aware of who you're leaving behind, right? Like, if it's a Tim Ream, he's not catching those guys. Cooked. Like, I don't know that really any of our team really has the pace to keep up with them, because those guys are moving.
Yeah, easily the fastest we saw this weekend.
Yeah, but I think I was always a little bit unsure of Australia and what they were going to be, and after watching that, Friday's game feels a little more scary now, I think.
I mean, we're in a position now where I would argue that if Australia came away with a loss against Turkey, which I think we're on the prediction for, and USA got a draw, this game would mean so much more in terms of who stays alive in the group. I think both teams now might even be saying, do we want to expel everything we have in this game?
It's true.
It's out of all the games that are coming up for us, I'd be cool with the draw. If we want to play for a draw, it almost guarantees us to get out of group. But now that we're seeing that all these big teams from Uruguay to Spain are drawing, so are they going to win their groups? Is it going to put us in a weird spot now where if we win our group, are we going to play second place in Spain's group and then have it be Spain? I mean, we have to start looking at those things right now.
That's true. Yeah.
And I never thought about this being an advantage, but it's such an advantage to be the last one to go in the group stages, just to see where you're going to match up. So for us to be early, I think we'll be on, I guess, technically the first 3 groups of Matchday 2. It's almost a slight disadvantage, because now other teams get to see what we're doing and how they rank up against the group stages. And correct me if I'm wrong, I wish it could happen, but every group, when we start to figure out the knockouts, not every third match day of the groups is going at the same time.
I don't think so.
That'd be way too hard to coordinate.
No, yeah,
Yeah, everyone's going to be different. I think we'll see two groups go at once, but those two groups might end up playing each other in the knockouts. I think that's how it might be correlated, because who's to say if I'm on the last day and I already see who I'm going against? Say I either get to choose against, I hate to say it, sorry, I'll go Capo Verde versus Spain, and if I win, I play Capo Verde. Well, obviously, I'm going to try to win, or vice versa. If I win and I play Spain, I'm not going to win. I know it's a crazy thing to say, but why go against the harder opponent?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I haven't really thought too much about that tactical battle, right? Of like,
it's interesting.
Where do you really want to try and place yourself? Yeah, I think like I'm glad Australia is next, because if that was the last game and USA struggles against Turkey or something, and then we had to rely on a win in that last game against Australia, like I think that would be just feels like a game that USA could go out on. But yeah, I think it'll be an interesting watch. I think if USA does play the strategy of just let Australia have the ball more, then it might just kind of naturally play out to a draw or like a late 1-0 kind of thing. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, it feels wrong to like want to come in second in the group, but
it depends. It all depends.
Depends now, yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful blessing, and if we got options to play certain clubs, we have to look at it that way. And I get it. You got to, if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best, but you can be strategic about it. You can. True. And you can play to the teams that you want to play against. Friday's gonna be fun. Fun day, noon.
Yeah.
All right. Out of all the 2 goal scorers that have happened over the weekend, we'll count Messi out. He's only with the hat trick right now. But we're talking the Hollands, the Havertz, the Ayaris out of Sweden. I know I'm missing probably one more in there. Help me out if you can find it. Oh, Balogun. By the way, Balogun kits sold out in the United States. You cannot find one if you tried. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Balogun. We got Kane on the board now. Mbappe, Holland. I think I nailed them all. Did any of those impress you more than what they should have?
I mean, Balogun, I think was certainly impressive. Like, I got to watch him a little bit while he was still at Arsenal. But it's, he was still kind of early on in the top level pro side, and then kind of kept an eye on him when I think he went to Monaco.
Mm-hmm.
And then the times he's played for USA, like there's been moments, but nothing really stand out. But like this felt like a really strong performance. I think like the whole team was pretty strong performance, so that definitely helped. But just some of the control and like the power he was getting on his shots was like very nice to see. But yeah, I think, Holland, I think you would expect to show up and perform. I think there's, obviously the excitement that Norway has to be here for the first time in whatever, 58 years or whatever it was, is, obviously going to rile them up a little bit, which I think is good. I think they will need some of that energy and excitement to carry them through some tougher times. But I think, like you were talking about last night, a lot of these players have never played against Holland or even anyone like him, huge dude, super quick, deadly shot. Like, it's a scary combination that coming straight at you.
I had this talk it was a work conversation turned into World Cup. Someone was asking me about, oh, did you see that goal, that own goal from Iraq, and I was like, yeah, they're like, why wasn't it a Holland goal? And I kind of had to explain that situation, but I was also saying, like, you know, a lot of these guys, I've never seen anyone play this fast before as a bottom tier team. And, you know, the guys from Spain, the guys from Netherlands, of course, we're going to see those European teams know how to play him. But the goals, Holland's second goal, when he just beat the keeper to it because the keeper took a step backwards and tried to boot it, it's too late. You do not have time to do that against this guy. And I know it's like, conceptually, it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't. He's a gazelle out there when he runs. And you'd think he'd be more of a Peter Crouch type movement where it's like, oh, he's going to be long and lanky and take forever to get to me. It's almost like, you know, you don't believe it until you see it in person and like actually sense it. And I would love to be in that goalkeeper's shoes at that moment too, just to think how much time you actually have and it's shut off in half a second. I won't be surprised if he does this again against who they got next. Senegal. I know Mendy is you know, will be a decent keeper, but he's long too. If he takes a big stride, Holland can pounce on it. I think this group, you know, Norway's group is pretty interesting. I think that France game that we're going to see against them on the third match day, I think it could be a doozy. Again, France beating Senegal was not too much of a surprise. I do think that scoreline though was a little bit bigger than what it maybe could have been. I think by 2-0, Senegal was really trying to go for it and trying to find a way back in and couldn't. And you know, France punished them for it. But I think that group, I still think all three of those teams are going to make it out of this group, and it's still going to be a as close as a group of death you can be. Who wins it? Shoot, I don't know. At this point, I mean, would it shock you tomorrow if or I guess not tomorrow, what day? The 23rd, in 6 days, if Senegal beat Norway? I don't think so. I don't think I'd be shocked. I think Nick Jackson needs to get his shot down. I think he easily could have had this game even. But that's, if I'm Senegal, that's what I'm thinking. If I'm Norway, I continue to say find Holland the ball.
Yeah, I think you know, in Premier League, I think we've seen a lot of teams have gotten pretty good of not marking Holland out of games, but making it very difficult for him to find the ball and for his teammates to find him. And again, that's, I think, just because those teams have played him now a handful of times, and you know, you can go back and watch your mistakes and how he just ripped through you. But a lot of these teams, it's a brand new experience, not a fun one. So I think if Norway can keep him firing on all cylinders, and you know, his supporting cast can kind of keep up, I think they have a good shot at a decent run here. It will be interesting to see them play against France with, you know, players that have played against Holland, or at least players at or near his caliber. So not to say it'll be an easy game for France, but I think it will be a tough one on either side, and one where you could almost just flip a coin for who wins.
I feel like it's going to be a lot of these games in match day 2. Again, match day 1 felt like such either a let's go get him or let's pace ourselves. And now match day 2, for all these teams that got draws, you gotta do something here. I don't think you can go into match day 3 with either 2 draws and expect to get out. I think you need some luck on your side. But I mean, we're gonna see right now. I think Ghana and Panama are probably gonna end this game in a draw too. It's
likely.
You know, if Ghana's on a break right now, we'll see what happens at the end of it. I do think though that CONCACAF's toughness. Oh, there it is. There it is. We got it live. Ghana with the goal. The draw is over. Okay, so this is segue. The fantasy gamblers out there that I'm in group chats with, they've just been doing $5 on draws. And let me tell you, it is working. And they were almost hyped on this one. Almost hyped. But
so close.
It is crazy to see the draws that have been coming in, and how many in a row. I think we had 4 in a row 2 days ago, which was the most we've had in a day in 60 years. But if you do the math, 17 World Cups. which is still incredible. But yeah, Panama, man, it sounds like they played an incredible game. For the most part, they dominated it in terms of possession and the quality.
Yeah.
Wow, Ghana snuck one out.
Oof. Yeah. Wow.
He almost whiffed that shot.
Yeah. It was not a pretty shot, but
that hit his ankle bone, and it had some silly spin on it.
That's it, though. It's like, Ghana is not a slouch. Like over the years, they've certainly caused U.S. issue. They've caused a lot of teams issue, but it is such a just like a message to everyone of like, whether you're Ghana, Panama, Paraguay, whoever, you may be ranked very low. You may be, here for a first World Cup or whatever, but like, this is a sport where it takes one moment to win a game. And like this happened, 94th minute, 95th minute, like this game was nearly over. Like we just said it was looking like a draw, and then we summoned a goal. But I think just with how many draws or like late goals to get to draws for a lot of these teams, I think it's just going to move forward the same way of like instilling some of that belief, especially when you did it against a Spain or even a Uruguay. Like just play your heart out, leave it all out there. Either you're playing 8 games in a month if you go all the way, or you're playing 3 and going home early. So might as well shoot for the stars.
Interesting scenes there. Did you see him remove his kit on the way out of the pitch and then put a different one on?
Yeah, I don't know what that was. I thought he was celebrating for a second, but
I
don't know.
Is that games? Did he call it right there? No. There's no way. Yeah. I don't know if it ripped. Maybe it did rip in the celebration. He asked for a redraw, but here we go. Panama lining up 11 men at the half. We're going deep with this thing, Hail Mary style.
Come on.
I mean, we're just going to take a moment here to observe what's happening. There's got to be seconds left on the clock.
Yeah.
You do a deep throw in. Let's get weird. I mean, this has been a weird World Cup. I think just having all these teams just makes things a little different, a little extra.
Yeah.
Round of 32.
And I think it's like it started to say is like CONCACAF teams are, notoriously kind of just difficult to play against because they are tough. They will, they will play a little dirty at times, and like that's just kind of the nature of CONCACAF games. And to bring that against some of these teams that I think, especially like European teams that are used to a little bit cleaner, maybe more technical game, can really put them off their pace and get in their heads. Maybe, I don't know, but
and I would think that some of those European teams might get the officiating call. Oh, so close! Keeper got a head on it. We got a little tussle in the box.
Come on.
Keeper's kicking his legs. He get kicked. I don't know what's happening. It's getting weird. It's gonna get weird. This is good. This is what we want. You know what? And I want to say good for Panama too, to show them that they weren't just going to give up and take the L here. Yeah. I want to take a peek at their group because it's probably a good shout after this game. Them thinking they can maybe get out. Group L.
Yeah.
Is that Croatia, England?
Croatia and England. So it's tough, but
I mean, let's jump to Croatia really quick. I think we've seen the end of the prime Croatia. I mean, we have guys who have been in their 5th World Cup, Perisic, Modric, incredible runs. They have a bunch of young guys now on the team. If this is the cup they crash out in, I'm not surprised. But again, they played England, right? England's going to be tough for anyone. Could they come back and win against Panama and Ghana and then be out of group? Absolutely. Yeah. I just think this could be it. This could be the end of the road.
This could be it. They certainly need to get over that hump of like, we go far, but we go to extra time every single time and just like burn out.
Yeah.
Which this almost kind of had that same feeling. Like they kept themselves in the game for a long time, and they certainly have the talent to get back into games. But I don't know that they have the talent to kind of like control a game and really see it out if they need to. So, I think they'll make it out of the group, but I think if you're Ghana, if you're Panama, you're certainly looking at them as a game that you can make difficult for them and potentially win or at least get the draw from. But even England, they have the weird tournament. I don't know, like voodoo on them sometimes of like it just.
Oh, they crash and burn.
Yeah, they crash and burn. They got all the players, but not always like on the same page. And they still gave up 2 goals here. So
Did you see the XG for Croatia?
No.
0.71.
0.71. They got 2 goals.
That's what I'm saying. So if you can get your XG up a little higher, I thought England's, I guess, starting 11 was fine, but I was a little shocked to see Guehi on the bench to start and having John Stones get the nod. And then, when bringing in Saka, I was like, wow, he's playing really deep, almost like right back territory, which I thought was, I get what Tuchel's trying to do here, but again, he brought in players to play in a position where they formally play in the Premier League. And then he's doing these interesting tweaks. I mean, the Madueke thing, I don't mind him starting. I think that's fine. I think you got to find a good rotation with both him and Saka. But yeah, I thought no Guehi to start and Stones and Konsa was like interesting move. But I mean, Harry Kane's incredible. I think he's going to continue to score goals at the same pace. Ghana looks like they're walking away with 3 points here, sitting second in their table now. Fun match for them. What a victory. So one more game in the group stage for match day 1. Uzbekistan, Colombia. I expect big things out of Colombia. I expect fast play.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think these South American, North American teams are just so suited for the climate they're playing in. Maybe not now for the night games, but we're looking at these Euro teams who aren't playing indoors, and it's hot. I don't think they're going to be fully used to it yet. I think the travel going from climate to climate is going to be I don't want to call it a struggle, but it's just going to be different. It's going to be something they've never experienced before to travel 1 week from West Coast to East Coast to Canada to Mexico, from high altitude to low altitude. It's got to be a trip.
Yeah. And that's just part of the tournament, right? Is you got to be able to adapt, not only different stadiums and, different field conditions, but also the weather. And, unfortunately America's very large, so it could be a lot of travel for you. And, I think that's something obviously every team will have to deal with, but I think you need to be able to rely on a lot of the players you brought and rotate when needed and push some players at times too, I'm sure. But I'm excited to see what Colombia can do. I feel like they are going to bring an energy that maybe people aren't really expecting. Like I haven't heard a lot of talk about them at all.
I mean, I won't lie to you. Forgot when you picked Luis Diaz on your team. I said, "Oh God, that was an option." I think we'll be surprised, and I think they have a strong team. I mean, James is still there. James Rodriguez out of Minnesota United. If he can pull off some magic, that'd be sweet. Daniel Munoz, Yerry Mina. I mean, this club has some quality.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's we just haven't seen him on the stage in a minute. I mean, last time it was kind of a crash out against Argentina in Copa. But I do think they'll make some noise. I think Diaz is going to make a lot of people talk about him. I'm sure he's going to do some crazy moves, some crazy skill in the final third, and hopefully get it going. Tony said the different start times have to be disorienting too. Absolutely. I mean, we're getting teams are starting they started today at 10. 10 Pacific time, 1 p.m. East Coast time. Then they're going to be jumping time zones. 1, 2, or 3 if they're going, I guess, They're probably playing in Mountain Time in not Mexico City. I think they're still considered Central. Remind me of the other city they're playing in. Monterey. I think Monterey might be Mountain Time.
Okay.
So we might be playing in 4.
Maybe. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Too many time zones. All right, should we jump to fantasy and maybe do Chat GPT team?
Oh yeah.
Okay, let's pop over there. Let's if you take a look at FootMob, I'm just gonna switch my screen here. We can go to the World Cup player stats. It'll give us a good breakdown of what everyone's pretty much doing per 90. For the most part, we have most of these players tracked outside of a couple. I'm looking at chances created. I see Maxi Araujo, Ruben Vargas. Those might be good shouts to throw in there.
Yeah, definitely.
We can do shots per target. I'm sure we got to have some guys in here. Abdullah Al-Amri from Saudi Arabia might be a good one to throw in depending on position. We don't have Elise, right? No one picked up Elise?
No, that was kind of the same like when you saw Diaz on my team, I saw Elise out there and was like, forgot about him.
Yeah, Elise might be a good shot. I'm pretty sure we're going to have him as a forward. Even though
I would think so.
I think Bayern had him as a mid this year, but yeah, he'll definitely be a forward here. Yeah, he will be a forward. So if you think there's anyone in the team sheets here we need to add, let's do it. I'm going to drop in Elise. And we could stat track him.
Yeah, I think
Elijah Just.
Oh yeah, from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a good game.
Give him a shout.
I'm gonna throw a shout for I'm gonna butcher his name, but from Morocco, Ayoub Bouadi.
Bouadi, let's check it.
He's like 18-year-old midfielder, but he kind of held his own in that midfield. And then selfishly, there's talk of Arsenal looking at him, so I'm more intrigued now.
Okay, good to know. Anthony Ortega in chat says Ruben Vargas will disappoint you.
Well, he had some good shots. I think Switzerland as a whole was off, whether it was the heat or
that's
nerves,
true. We know people who went, and they said it was miserable to be standing in the middle of the pitch. What time was the game? Noon? I mean,
it was early. Yeah,
games just don't happen in Levi during the summer for a reason. And that didn't look fun to me. So we will be avoiding that place anytime when the sun's out.
Yeah. We certainly got to get Harry Sutar in on defense.
Yep. Add in that. And then I got to figure out what sub I want to make because.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't even mention, but I got to make a sub. Kubo probably done for Japan. It sounds like.
Yep.
Which is a bummer. So blow my sub nice and early, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't want to have to use mine, but I just feel like my Alistair Johnsons, my Cody Gakpo. Give me something. And should I be patient? Maybe. I guess I don't need to. I'd rather, my Hollands and my Messi showed up, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
But it looks like Luis Diaz is walking into the stadium now, getting ready to go. And
come on, baby, I need those points desperately.
Yeah, Kristen at the top of the leaderboard right now. I can't say I'm surprised because of the amount of time and research she does.
Yeah.
She still has Declan to go after we get today's points in. But again, I told some people, I was like, hey, group stage is a feeler. It's now you get 5 knockout rounds instead of 4.
Oh, true.
So even more time to get up and get back in the pack. So let's do it. Let's do our little draft here. I'll get my Chat GPT squad going. So why don't you go first? Pick your player to add into Chat GPT. And then I'll go after.
Oh boy. I mean, I think the first one I want to throw in is Sutar. He was impressive as much of Australia was, but the way he was getting to like every defensive ball was just, it was a sight to behold. And 13 clearances is a great number to have, and if they're gonna keep playing that way and make it out of group, it could be a great pick for the round of 32.
It's funny. Something I noticed in a lot of these games is we didn't see a lot of big clearances from these players, but someone at the Premier League who's been playing probably 10 men in the box, he certainly knew how to do it. I agree with you. I think that's a solid choice. And if Australia makes it out, he'll probably get a shout on my team, considering Australia is going to be on the back end of a lot of these games. So that makes total sense. Anthony Ortega in the chat says, get money, get paid. Haha. Yeah, we're trying. We're trying.
Absolutely.
That is the goal. All right, my pick here. Looking for someone who isn't on a team yet. I mean, we got a lot to choose from here. Hasn't played. I was thinking more Colombia because we haven't seen him yet.
Okay.
Let's take a look at Foot Mob really quick. I'm going to take a look at the whole group and see if there's anyone in here that I like more than the other. How about Ivory Coast?
There's some good ones in there.
Get to the fixtures here. I mean, that was a fun game too, watching them kind of hold their own. It felt like not truly back in the prime of Ivory Coast, but Ecuador was no slouch. And again, another 90-minute. We're going Jan Diomande for sure. This guy was killing it.
There you go. Yeah.
Diomande, 5 chances created, no shots on target. I think that'll change. 12 touches in the opposition box, 4 dribbles. We go 5 tackles, no blocks, no clearances, 2 interceptions. That's going to be a solid day.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
That's actually more than I thought. Jan Diomande. Is that our first Ivory Coast player in here? I think it might be.
Maybe, yeah. Okay. I kind of want to expand our goalkeeping pool here.
Good shout.
I don't know if it's worth it to bring in Vozinha of Cape Verde, but I'll give him a shout. But I don't think I necessarily need to see what he does. Maybe that'll backfire and he'll surprise me. But man, I think I want to go Zion Suzuki from Japan.
Okay.
He's kind of impressing me with some of the saves he made, and I think just some of the bravery he had of getting out to balls. So I think that could be a fun one to keep an eye on.
1 second, Chad. 1 second. We need to do a quick little recovery. We're gonna add these players later, but I'm gonna put them in ChatGPT. If you go to the Player Master, I got someone's showing as 10 in row 93, and I can't figure out why. And Brahim Diaz, maybe it was supposed to be Brahim Diaz's point total, but showing him as 0. Yeah, we'll have to play around with that one. But let me get Jan in here. Yeah, it's funny. I saw a lot of comments about Japan's goalkeeper, and how he looked very similar to Rui Hachimura out of the LA Lakers, and I was just made me a lot of the Laker subreddits were saying, is that our starting small forward?
Hey, wait a minute.
And
so look, basketball season's over. Wants to stay active.
Yep. Okay, let's get him in here. Fixtures. Fun game against the Netherlands.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That Japan team, I mean, both men and women, they never say die. They just keep going, and they make it a lot of fun to watch them and root for them.
Yep. Easily fan favorites for the neutral. Zion Suzuki. All right, bringing it back. Let's see here, Chad. I got so many Brazilian forwards who did absolutely nothing. Oh my goodness. One Spanish defender. I think we need to add a midfielder now. What top mids are we missing? They get a good country list going.
Yeah.
John McGinn's going to get a shout. I think we go Moises Caicedo.
Oh, okay.
I think that makes the most sense if we're just going by who's the best left.
Yeah.
So we'll do him. Moises Caicedo from Ecuador.
I like that.
All right, you up.
Okay. Think. Shoot. It's too many good options, and I just don't know which way I want to go here. Okay, I think I'm gonna stick with the mids. I think let's go Maxi Rajo. I think that'll be a fun one to keep an eye on.
It's out of Uruguay.
Yeah. We got Valverde, but I don't know. He didn't impress me from I mean, obviously his stats kind of show that, but we'll see. I mean, I think that whole team kind of didn't impress me really, but first game jitters maybe.
We'll keep it in the mids for me. I want to see if James Rodriguez can actually do something. I feel like the ball is going to be at his feet more than we think. And he will be the playmaker and looking for Diaz, looking for who's their striker? I think it's another Ramos. I'm going to get it. I want to get my facts right. Player stats. Luis Suarez. That's right. That's who I was looking for. They got another Suarez.
Another Suarez, yes.
Yep. Okay, that rounds out our mids. We need to pack the forwards and the defenders.
Beautiful. Okay, I'll go defense here. Let me double check where this guy is at. Where are you? Here we go. Okay. Maybe let's bring in. I think I want to take Koulibaly from Ghana. You know, he was He's been in our pools before, both Champions League and this time in Premier League. Let's see what he's got. 34, kind of at that tail end of his career, but let's see. I don't even really know his numbers that he put up today, but I think it's worth a watch.
Good shout. I'm going back to Argentina here, since we do not have a defender for them. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Otamendi put up some decent numbers.
I haven't looked, but I'd believe it.
The clean sheet helps. It always does.
Mm-hmm.
Pictures. Give me a second here. We're going to stats fast. Now, to be fair, they didn't have to do a whole lot back there. I think Martinez, Emmy didn't have to do a whole lot in general. I don't think he had any saves, but he didn't need to. He just didn't need to. I'm calling an audible here. We're gonna go Lisandro Martinez. I like his numbers a little better after the first day. 2 tackles, 1 interception, 4 clearances. Just a slight edge on Otamendi, but I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So that's what we're gonna rock with. And he's 5'7". What defenders out there are 5'7"? Truly,
a whole lot. Yeah.
That is no shade.
Okay. Let's see. I think I'm gonna go for a striker, and I'm looking at where'd he go? Yes, Embolo, Switzerland. After Matchday 1, he has the highest combined XG and XA per 90 at 1.98.
Wow. So he'll be
Was
due.
it the Heat? Are they a better team than that? I don't know, but we'll find out.
I think he is. I think he I mean, that game was an odd one, to say the least. Yeah, I think there's a good shout. He could bag a couple more goals here before the end of this thing. Okay, I'm keeping it simple. We already spoke his name, Elijah Just.
Yes.
Welcome to the team. Keep doing things we haven't seen New Zealand pretty much ever do. Chad, you got one more defender to round it out.
I think. Yeah, I think since we don't have, I don't think we have any Bosnian player. We're gonna go for, and I don't know anything about him other than looking at his ranking. There's actually 2 Bosnian players topping the defensive contributions list right now. So we're gonna go for, let's go Nikola Katic, I guess is how we're saying.
Nikola with a K.
Yeah.
Let me go look for him on my list.
Yeah, I mean,
Nikola Katic, got him.
Let's see, just off his stats, the last game, 5 tackles, 3 interceptions, 2 blocks, 16 clearances. He's working. 115 duels.
Okay.
10 aerial duels. He's oof.
He got
alive. 2 touches in the opposition box, so he's everywhere.
Okay. We can work with that.
Yeah.
All right. That rounds it out for ChatGPT. We'll put those points together and see where they fall on the table. I imagine mid-table right now. They'll probably be in the 60s, considering we picked some higher-end, lower-end players, a little bit of everything, and, they haven't gone all the way yet, but I like what we're putting down. And then just for our teams, we'll have match day 1 all the way completed by the end of the day, once Uzbekistan and Colombia kick off in 30 minutes. Chad, I think that wraps it up. Hour and 5 minutes into the chat here. Anything more to say to the people?
No, I mean, it feels like the World Cup has been going on for a long time already.
Yeah.
Not in like a bad way, but there's still so much more to come. And if match day 1 could already bring us so many like winners, losers, surprises, drama. You've been saying it all weekend, but let's get weird. I think has to be just like the motto going through this.
I want to see some 90-minute fights, dude. Let's get crazy in the box. Let's score some 90-minute bangers. Let's stop wasting our time with these draws at the end of games. Show me something crazy. Prove you can be a winner of this tournament, and we'll go from there. Chad, with that, I think the Hooligans pitch. We're out.
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. See you next time. Peace.
Noise.